How many types of windows are here? Let's discuss that also. How many types of windows? Types of windows in Smartforms. So there are mainly 4 types of windows in Smartforms. Mainly 4 types of windows. First one is your main window. So main window. First one is your main window. So main window is the default window. Main window is the default window which you will always see. You will always see each time you will create any smartphone. This is the main window which you are going to see every time when you will create any smartphone. For example, this is the smartphone that I have created, and in the pages and windows section, if I open this folder, by default a main window is available. So if I double click on this main window, oh, system has been logged out. Let me reopen it. I'll go to Smartforms again. Smartforms. Open the smartphone. So in the pages and window section, you will see your main window. And if you will double click on main window, what you are going to see the window type. And if you open this particular drop down, you will see here we have got 4 types of window: main window, secondary, copies, and final window. So these are the mainly 4 kinds of windows are available, out of which main window is the default window, and whenever you create any smartphone, this window is always available there. So then what is the most important use case of main window? Main window is used for the continuous output. Main window is used for the continuous output such as tables. For example, let's say I have got 1000 records to display. So 1000 rows cannot be displayed on the same page, right? It should be moved on and it should be flowed to the next page. So here main window comes into the picture, that if we have the continuous output data, then we should always display in the main window. Okay, so that simply means, when you have continuous flow of data, you can use the main window. When you have continuous flow of data, you can use the main window. What it will do, it will automatically shift the data to the next page. If the data will be flowed to the next page, main window will automatically shift the data to the next page. So main window will automatically shift the data to the next page if the amount of data will increase. Okay, if the amount of data will increase. So this is your first window. Then we have secondary window. So secondary window. What is the use of secondary window? This window is mainly used to display the output for a fixed length. This is used to display the output for a fixed length. So you will have to check which data is for fixed length. For example, here I know that this data I am getting displayed from my employee table, and my employee is my header table. So in header we only have 1 rows. So 1 row I can display easily. So that is a fixed amount of record. It will not change it dynamically. Number of rows will be fixed. So I can simply display it in the secondary window, right? So for displaying fixed amount of records, we create a template inside the, we create a template inside the secondary window. We create a template inside the secondary window. And for displaying dynamic number of rows in the main window, we create tables. We create tables to display it. We create tables to display it. So for displaying dynamic number of rows in the main window, we will create tables, and for displaying second fixed number of records, we will create the template. Okay. And very important note here is we should never use dynamic number or continuous number. Continuous number, yeah, it is more correct. So we should never use secondary window when we have continuous flow of data. When we have continuous flow of data, we should never use the secondary window because its length is fixed. If you are looking for continuous flow data, if you already know that we are going to have continuous flow of data, you should always go for the main window. Then we have copies in window as third one. So copies window here. So it is a special kind of window. It is a special kind of window or a special kind of secondary window, mainly secondary window, which is used for making copies or making pages as copy of original. Okay. So copies window only used for copying the original window. Then we have got at last final window, and the name itself is explaining everything here. Final window. This window will be processed at last, that is why it is final. So this window will be processed at the last. So if there is something which you want to which will be processed and executed at last, then you can use Smartforms there. Then you can use Smartforms for the same purpose. So this window will be processed at the last, and if there is something which will be processed and executed at last, then in that situation what you can do, you will be easily able to use the concept of final window, because final window will be simply processed at the last and we can simply use this thing there. Okay. So this is the windows there. So you will see your Smartform and how many sections you have. Accordingly you will create your windows, and accordingly you will have to adjust the length of the window. Now let's suppose that we have created our window, then how we will display our data there. So how to display the data in the Smartform? How to display the data in the Smartform? How to display the data in the Smartform? So how to display the data in the Smartform? How to display the data in the Smartform? So text are used to display the output value on the output of Smartform. Texts are used to display the output value on the output of Smartform. And if you again check how many types of text are there, so types of texts in Smartforms. So types of text in Smartform. First one is your text element, which is a normal default text which we usually used. So they are not reusable text. They are not reusable text. They are dedicated to one smart form only. They are dedicated to only one smart form. That simply means once once we use them in one smartphone, we cannot reuse them. We cannot reuse them. Reuse them. This is the text element which you use to display a text there. Then the second one is text module. And if you open your smartphone again, go for back button. Again, it has been logged out. Let me reopen. Go for Smartforms transaction code. Here you can see we have a section text module. So this is created outside of the smartphone. That is why it is reusable in nature. So text module. This is a reusable text. This is a reusable text. And it is created from Smartforms transaction code. We can use the Smartform transaction code to create a reusable text, which is text module. Then we have the third kind of text is include text. So include text is there. Okay, include text is there. It is also a reusable text. But this particular text module can only be used in Smartforms only. It can only be, if let's say if you have created one text, so you can only be using this text module inside the Smartform. But include text can be used in Smartforms. Include text can be used in Smartform programs also, etc. So you can use your include text inside the Smartform and program also for displaying text. And SO10 transaction code is used to create a include text. SO10 transaction code is used to create a include text. So if you want, you can go and check SO10. This is the section which is used to create a text. SO10. Okay. And at last we have the fourth kind of text element here, so which is dynamic text. So this text is used to display the text at the runtime. This is used to display the text at the runtime in Smartform. So suppose if you are executing your Smartform, and during execution, if you want to take some input as text and you want to display it, you can use the concept of dynamic text. And we have got a predefined table type which we use for it. So predefined table type for dynamic text is TSF text. This is the predefined table type for your text, dynamic text here. So this is the overview of your Smartform. What is Smartform? Smartform are the layouts in SAP system which are simply used to create the business document, right? The transaction code to create a Smartform is Smartforms. And when we will execute our Smartform, a standard function will be generated by SAP system at the runtime. Then features we saw of a smart form, there are always 3 4 important folders. Attributes contains the generic data, interface contains the interface of the function module which will be generated, so we can use this interface for various purpose. Then we have got global definition where we define all our global data. Then if how we will create our smart form, so we will divide our smart form into various section. Whenever we will get our requirement, we will count the sections that we have in case of our smart form, and accordingly we will create the windows. We saw what is windows. Windows are simply sections of the smart form, and we have got mainly 4 kinds of windows which have their own use case. Then how to display any value which is getting displayed here, so all these are displayed via text. And we have got 4 kind of text in a smart form. Text element, non-reusable. Text module is reusable, but we can only use it in the smart form. Then we have got include text, so it is also reusable, but we can reuse it in a smart form also and program also. Then we have got dynamic text, so dynamic text is used to display the text at the runtime. Something if you are passing at the runtime while executing your smart form, then you can use the concept of dynamic text. Okay, so this is all about overview, and we will see the implementation in next part. Okay.